The Supreme Court has started utilizing an automation system from today to assign hearing dates. The allocation of hearings for pending cases at the Apex Court was conducted through a lottery system before. Recently appointed Chief Justice Vishwambar Prasad Shrestha expects the introduction of the automation system will address the irregularities seen within the Apex Court. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Koshi province budget stranded due to political gambits. Questions raised on the legality of collecting revenue. The province government's expenses halted with the budget being stranded. Chairpersons of all 10 thematic committees under the House of Representatives elected unopposed. Rashtriya Swatantra Party withdraws its candidacy for the Industry Committee. The Indian Space Research Organisation confirms this Saturday as the launch date for the highly anticipated Sun Mission, Aditya L1, the mission to travel 1.5 million kilometers from Earth. And 5 Nepali cricketers make the draft list of Australian franchise cricket Big Bash. Dave Kanal, Arjun Saud, Asif Sheikh and Arif Sheikh included in the list. As Koshi province failed to replace the budget brought by an ordinance 2 months ago with the replacement bill, the province government is facing trouble with its budget being stranded. The then Chief Minister of Koshi province, Hikmat Kumar Karki-led government, had brought the budget for this fiscal year through an ordinance on 15th of June. The budget brought through an ordinance should have been replaced by a replacement bill with the province governor certifying it within 60 days from the day it was introduced. The replacement bill could not be endorsed by the Koshi Provincial Assembly by the deadline yesterday due to political gambits. A meeting of the Provincial Assembly was called on 18th of August earlier this month to endorse the replacement bill. However, right after Chief Minister Uddhav Thapa secured the vote of confidence on 21st of August through the Provincial Assembly, a case was filed at the Supreme Court against the move and the Thapa-led government changed into a caretaker status. After the Provincial Assembly failed to endorse the bill by yesterday, the Koshi government has been prohibited from spending the budget from today. Following the verbal directive of the Chief Secretary of Koshi Province, the transport officers have been collecting revenue from driving licenses, renewal and registration of vehicles, among others. Likewise, the land revenue officers in province are also raising money from land registration. Legal experts opine that revenue can be collected on the basis of previous law. However, financial experts say that it is against the law to collect revenue at the previous rate at a time when the budget has not been endorsed. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces what they think of the political gambits in Koshi province that risks the failure of budget implementation. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राज्य बनेको गार्जियन्स हो गार्जियन्सले निभाउनु पर्ने भूमिका राजनीतिक दलले चाहिँ नेतृत्व गर्ने राजनीतिक दलले ननिभाउनु नै चाहिँ यसको अहिलेको यो परिणाम हो
कुनै पनि पार्टीको बहुमत नहुनु र विभिन्न पार्टी मिलेर चाहिँ अहिले गठबन्धन भएर जुन जाने प्रविधि र त्यो प्रविधिमा चाहिँ उहाँहरुको भागभण्डामा चाहिँ बजेटहरुको सिलिङ नपुगेका कारणले पनि गर्दा यो कार्यान्वयनमा अलि जटिलता भएको भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ
कांग्रेस र एमाले माओवादी यो संयुक्त सरकार निर्माण भयो भने कोशी प्रदेशको बजेट होलिडे पनि नहुने र चाहिँ सरकार पनि स्थिर ढंगले अगाडि बढ्ने अवस्था सिर्जना भएको छ
राजनीतिक अकर्मण्यता हो
जिम्मेवार व्यक्तिहरुले चाहिँ आफ्नो जिम्मेवारी के हो भनेर चाहिँ जिम्मेवारी चाहिँ वहन गर्न नसक्नु प्रमुख कारण हो
कांग्रेस एमाले माओवादी लगायतका दलहरुले चाहिँ यसमा सोच्नु पर्ने देखिन्छ
बच्चा खाने गाडी दिने प्रदेश सरकारको कामै छैन
आपसी खिचातानीले गर्दा हो तपाईको उनीहरुको स्वार्थहरु बाँचेर हो
भागभण्डाको कुरालाई साइडमा राखेर जनताको चाहिँ नै दुख मार्कामालाई हेरेर बजेट छिटोभन्दा छिटो पारित गरे राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
प्रदेश सरकारै गठन हुन सक्दैन भने अब प्रदेश सरकारले बजेट कसरी ल्याउन सक्छ
कोशी प्रदेशमा चाहिँ एकदमै चाहिँ अन्याय भएको मैले चाहिँ ठानेको छु
यो त सबै यो राजनीतिक दलकै जिम्मेवारी
त्यो सरकारलाई हामी सबैले सहयोग गरेर अब टिकाउनु पर्यो
जिम्मेवार दलहरु मिलेर जानुको विकल्प छैन
सत्ता मोह राजनीतिक भागभण्डा नमिल्नुको कारणले पनि यो बजेट नगएको
प्रदेश नम्बर 1 नै अन्य प्रदेशको तुलनामा 10 वर्ष पछाडी गएको हो कि भन्ने मलाई चाहिँ आभास भएको छ
नेताहरुको चाहिँ जनताप्रति चाहिँ माया मोह नभएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ
विकासको तर्फबाट नि सोच्नु पर्यो नि त हैन यसमा पनि राजनीतिको लागि खिचातानी गरेर हो कि हामीले सरकार चलाउनु पाऊँ भन्ने खालको सोच राखेर त्यसरी त भएन नि त
Now, hearing of those arrested in the Lalita Niwas land scam has started at the Kathmandu District Court from today. The District Government Attorney Office had filed a case at the Kathmandu District Court yesterday against 310 individuals for their alleged involvement in the infamous Lalita Niwas land scam of Baluatar. Out of them, hearing of 17 individuals in police custody has started at the court from today. The hearing of Shiva Bhatrai and Rudra Kumar Shrestha were held at the bench of Judge Bholanath Shrestha. The District Government Attorney Office filed a case for forgery against incumbent Secretary Krishna Bahadur Raut, Joint Secretary Sushil Vaidya, former Deputy Prime Minister Vijay Kumar Gachadhar and 3 other former ministers, as well as 6 former secretaries, among others. Even as the Central Investigation Bureau CIB of Nepal Police had recommended the government to file a case under organized crime alongside fraud, the case was only filed under forgery. The District Government Attorney Office decided to only file a case for forgery, citing that there was lack of evidence for filing a case under organized crime. The case was filed against Krishna Bahadur Raut, who is currently the Secretary at the Ministry of Communications and Information, as well as against Sushil Vaidya, who currently holds the post of Joint Secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs. Former Ministers for Land Reform Dambar Shrestha, Chandradev Joshi and then State Minister Sanjay Shah have also been made defendants in the case. Chairpersons of all 10 thematic committees under the House of Representatives have been elected unopposed after Rashtriya Swatantra Party candidate Ganesh Parajuli withdrew his candidacy for chairperson of the Industry Committee at the 11th hour. All the chairpersons for the thematic committees were elected unopposed. From Nepali Congress, Ramhari Khatiwada was elected chair of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee unopposed, while Archadewa was elected chair for Agriculture Committee and Santosh Chalise for the Finance Committee. Main opposition CPN-UML's Rishikesh Pokhrel was elected unopposed to lead the Public Accounts Committee and Kiran Shah for the Women and Children Committee. Likewise, Bimala Subedi of CPN Maoist Centre was elected unopposed as the chair of Law, Justice and Human Rights Committee. Deepak Bahadur Singh of Rashtriya Prajatantra Party elected unopposed to lead the Infrastructure Development Committee. Meanwhile, Janata Samajwadi Party's Raj Kishore Yadav was elected the chair for International Relations and Tourism Committee and Bhanu Bhakta Joshi of CPN Unified Socialists for the Education Committee. Likewise, Janamad Party's Abdul Khan was elected chairperson unopposed to lead the Industry Committee. The Parliament Secretariat has informed that the election of the chairpersons of the joint committees, which are in the share of Nepali Congress and CPN-UML, would be held in a few days. In the joint committees, Nepali Congress will lead the Parliament Hearing Committee, while CPN-UML will lead the State Direction Principal Committee. The Supreme Court has started utilizing an automation system from today to assign hearing dates. The hearing dates assigned by a computerized system will be informed to the concerned sides through SMS. Inaugurating the utilization of the automation system, recently appointed Chief Justice Bishwambar Prasad Shrestha stated that all the works of the courts will be made technology-friendly to maintain good governance. With the implementation of the automation system, the employees at the court can work with high spirit. Chief Justice Shrestha informed that the implementation of the automation system will curb irregularities within the court and improve justice delivery. Shrestha also said the manpower within the Supreme Court has been used for assigning hearing dates through the automation system. Chief Justice Shrestha also informed that the automation system would soon be introduced at the Kathmandu District Court and then to other courts. The Millennium Challenge Corporation Nepal Development Committee MCA and Ministry of Finance have agreed to begin the implementation of the project from Wednesday. This comes after the Nepal government fulfilled 6 conditions required for the implementation of the program, including progress in land acquisition and felling of forest trees. The project has been declared as National Pride Project and the government has formed an Electricity Monitoring Commission, signed the agreement, taken approval from India for the construction of a transmission line, and the compact has also been endorsed by the Parliament. Government officials expect the project to complete on time. The Nepal government and MCC had signed the $500 million grant program in 2017. The Nepal government is to invest $130 million in the program as a 315-kilometer long 400 kilovolt transmission line will be constructed along with 3 substations. Once the transmission line completes construction, around 4,000 megawatts of electricity produced from 132 hydropower projects will be connected to the national transmission line. The transmission line will extend between 10 districts and 30 municipalities. 856 towers will be installed for the line. Any surplus energy after domestic consumption will be exported to India and other countries using the transmission line. Likewise, 40-kilometer road section of the Dhankhola-Lamahi in East-West Highway will be repaired under the same project. The MCC program had met with stern criticism from all quarters. The lower house had issued a 12-point declaration before it endorsed the controversial MCC program. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we'd asked you what should be done to improve the export of Nepali products. 37% voted for option A, increase manufacturing, 30% for B, prioritize quality, and 33% for C, improve policy. And here's today's question. What should be done to increase attraction towards teaching profession? Your options are A, increase facilities, B, respect towards the profession, and C, opportunity for professional advancement. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO has confirmed the launch date for its highly anticipated Sun Mission Aditya L1 just a few days after the soft landing of the Pragyan rover on the south pole of the moon. According to the official tweet, ISRO will launch the PSLV C-57 for the Aditya L1 mission this Saturday. This is the first space-based Indian observatory to study the sun from ISRO, which will be scheduled for launch this Saturday at 11:50 a.m. Indian Standard Time from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. The mission Aditya L1 from ISRO will travel for a total distance of 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, which is 4 times as far as the moon. The Aditya L1 mission will carry 7 payloads to observe the photosphere, chromosphere, and corona in different wave bands. These will help ISRO to collect data on how corona's temperature can reach over 1 million degrees, while the sun itself has a peak temperature of over 6,000 degrees centigrade. According to ISRO, the mission involves a total travel time of about 4 months from launch to L1 with a distance of 1.5 kilometers. The major objective of ISRO's Aditya L1 mission is to get a deeper understanding of the sun, which includes coronal heating and solar wind acceleration, coupling and dynamics of the solar atmosphere, solar wind distribution, and temperature anisotropy. Welcome back. It's time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
5 Nepali cricketers have made it to the draft list of Australian franchise cricket Big Bash. The franchise organisers made public the names of 376 players from around the world that made the draft list, in which 5 Nepali cricketers are also included. The Nepali cricketers included in the Big Bash draft list are Dev Khanal, Arjun Saud, Asif Sheikh and Arif Sheikh. Leg spinner Sandeep Lamichhane, who played for Hobart Hurricanes in the last edition of the Big Bash, can also be retained by the same team. This is the first time Dev, Asif and Arif have made the draft list of a foreign league. The draft day for the Big Bash is scheduled for 2nd of September, while the franchise league kicks off on the 13th of December. Players from 29 different countries have been included in the Big Bash draft list. 8 teams will be participating in the Big Bash that started from 2011. Each team will be able to include 2 to 3 foreign players into the team. Sandeep Lamichhane is the only Nepali cricketer to play in the Big Bash so far. Perth Scorchers won their 5th Big Bash title last season. The draft list for the Women's Big Bash has also been published today. A total of 122 cricketers from 19 nations have made the draft list for the women's edition of the franchise league. Moving on, the national cricket team of Nepal has reached Multan, Pakistan for the upcoming Asia Cup, which starts from Wednesday this week. The team under head coach Monty Desai had been training in Karachi for the past week. The team had played a practice match against Karachi Gymkhana while in Karachi. As the team could not play in Nepal due to the rainy season, it had reached Karachi to prepare for the Asia Cup. The tournament begins with the much-awaited clash between world number 1 Pakistan and Nepal this Wednesday. Nepal are making their debut in Asia Cup. and they are in the group alongside Pakistan and India. Nepal will face India in Kandy, Sri Lanka on the 4th of September. The other group consists of teams from Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.